I graduated from Melbourne Uni in Australia, and I specialized in accounting and finance. I got my chartered practicing accounting in year 2002. In InTune, I run the business development segment. I'm also a certified partner accounting running with my wife. My wife is actually the other partner that runs the firm.
My name is Yong. I'm graduated with a corporate finance degree from University of Adelaide, Australia. My first job is with Ernst & Young, an accounting firm, for 5 years. Then I moved on to manage an internal audit department for an Australian listed company. I'm a member of Certified Practicing Accountant Australia and also a member of Malaysian Institute of Accountants. So in InTune, I am the managing partner. I take care of the sales, business development, and also overseeing the operations at InTune. So I've been a practicing accountant for the last 20 over years.
The company was started long time ago when I was still with KPMG. So during that time, I got a lot of friends who are having complication and stress when they run business. And most of their challenge is they cannot hire an accountant. So as a result, they always only hire maybe a clerk or an exec. A lot of time they have a lot of issues with their finance, payment, sometimes the money get lost, sometimes the accounts don't close in time, payment is not done in time. So that time when they wanted to hire me, then I was thinking, how are they going to pay me? Like if they were to hire me and I charge them 10,000 for SME, how can they afford me? So I went back and I think, and then one day I got this idea. This idea just popped up. If 5 of them combine, each one maybe pay me 3,000 a month, then I can serve 5 of them at one shot. I become like a HQ accountant to 5 of them. Then I can assemble a team to actually support them, and that's how InTune was formed. In terms of the company, our team structure is divided into sales and operation. So the sales is very simple. We serve our client by understanding their need, and then we provide them the solution. In terms of the operation, is divided into 2 segments currently. We have the finance, which take care of the day-to-day accounting for our client, from payment to preparing the financial statement. Another team that we have is doing the HR and payroll service to ensure that the day-to-day of the salary and remuneration, including compliance, are taken care of. As an accountant, as a service provider, we need to be able to sync along, tune into the processes of our client and customize. For example, maybe a manufacturing client would be very different from a trading client. So InTune means as a provider, we are tuning into their needs and requirements.
The vision of InTune is to be the leading finance and human resource outsourcing provider in Malaysia. In this vision, we want to create financially driven entrepreneurs and businesses who runs their business based on numbers, analytics in driving their business to their goals. The mission of InTune is to support every small medium enterprises becoming large by being their strong finance and HR pillars for their businesses. This means that we are providing them a team of knowledgeable professionals with strong processes and workflow to support them in their growth journey becoming large. There are 3 main types of services being provided at InTune. Number 1 is the finance, number 2 is the human resource, and number 3 is the consultancy. So in terms of finance, so what we do is that we do the everyday accounting and finance functions for our small medium enterprises clients, like preparing payments, even issuing invoice, official receipts, reconciling their sales collection on an everyday basis, up to giving them a financial dashboards and accounts every month, up to on a half-yearly basis to sit with them and review their financial dashboards, and at the end of the year to take care of their audit and taxes on their behalf. That's on the finance side. So the second type of service that we provide for our client is human resource related, which means we take care of their payroll. We make sure that the payrolls are calculated correctly, accurately, on time, and in compliance with all labor laws, EPF, SOCSO, etc. And then taking care of the leave for their staff, and making sure that at year end, all the forms, all the compliance matters with Income Tax Office is complied with. So in terms of HR, we also assist our clients to issue HR related letters, like when a new staff come on board, to give them the employment letter, when they confirm, and if there's any increase in salary, bonus, we help them out with all those pay.
Thank you for joining us again tonight. Tonight we have InTune Freedom Series number 2. So what does Freedom Series mean? In InTune, we are creating a series where we support SME owners to be free, so that they can focus on what they do best and leave all the back end headache to us. So tonight we're going to talk about some of the pain that SME face in finance division. So before I begin, my name is Alex Wong. I'm a co-founder and I'm the marketing director for InTune Business Services. We focus on providing solutions, especially in finance and HR-related services to support SME to become large. With me tonight, let me bring in my colleague tonight, Joseph. Hi,
Hey guys,
Joseph.
hey,
Yeah, I'll
thanks
let
for
you
having me back.
introduce yourself. Let you introduce yourself before we start.
My name is Joseph. You guys might have seen me in our last series. I am the company's business development manager. I oversee uh, most of the sales, if not all, that comes into the company, and I address them. So thank you, Alex, for having me tonight.
Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about pain. A lot of SMEs sometimes every time when they see us, they have all this headache, they have
Yeah,
all this pain. I always tell my team that we are, only when we are in tremendous pain we go and see doctors, right? In tune, we are actually like a number doctor. When they have number issues or finance issues or HR issues, they come and see us, and we prescribe them a Panadol and to eliminate that pain. So tonight, let's talk about some of the common pain that common pain that our SME business owners always have.
So I think the first common pain, me and Alex, we were just chatting about this the other night, is uh, most of the business owners out there, yes, they can start a business, they know how to run the operations, they know everything. However, just like how I mentioned in the previous series, payroll, accounting, and finance is a huge part of the back end as well. Okay, so if you don't get that right, you can't move forward with this. Your business can expand, but how far can you expand? So we'll dive deep down into that. So number one, I think most business owners, they are great at what they do. Yeah, they studied engineering, IT, marketing, advertising even, but they lack the basic fundamentals of accounting. Even I don't have accounting. I don't have accounting background. Only Alex has. So I'm not certified. I call myself an accountant, right? So I can't say that I can give the best advice. That's why when I meet some of these business owners, I see that the plies that they pour out to me, they say, "Hi Joseph, my business expanded so fast. I got no time to look at accounting. I got no time to look back at my books." Then they will then pour out their heart and say that I wish I can turn back time and start taking a simple bookkeeping, for example, start to jot down things that I buy and pay and sell
Yeah.
even. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's not just about them expanding fast. Some of them, they cannot even expand because they really don't even know their numbers. It's like driving a car, doesn't know the speed and doesn't know how much petrol they have. And
Exactly.
a lot of time, the business owner that come to see us, they have this massive headache like, I put so much money in the business. I do all these sales. Alex, I don't know where all my money went. I could remember clearly there
Yeah.
was one client that came and consult with us. They were having so much business. They expanded this division of they are in the security service, So they expanded this division and they expanded it so much. The sales actually grew by more than 100%. But then they
Mm.
say, I don't know why month end always not enough money. I need to pump in money to pay for salary. So when we
Yeah.
go in and we just look at the number, we realize that she actually had an error in terms of the costing. So the more she expand that division, the more money she's losing. So the increase in sales actually result in a cash flow loss. So
Correct.
sometimes these
Correct.
are some of the challenges, especially when, and a lot of business owner, they really, I think more than 99% of the business owner that we meet, they say, Alex, I really don't want to have this paperwork, and they don't like this number. They really,
Yep.
their joy and their passion and their freedom is actually to do that business. And I think that's what Freedom
Right.
Series is all about. Yeah.
Totally agree with you. So I think number sounds far out, 99%, but trust me, it is. Okay, 99% of business owners do not know, are they making money or are they really losing money? They tell you they're making money, but are they really making money? No, they're not. Okay, so we're gonna dive down deep into this. So this is the first thing that we notice most business owners are facing:
Yeah.
technical competency, right?
Yeah, and on top of that, they hire a girl or not, like a finance exec.
Oh yeah,
Maybe, I mean, I don't want to put them down. I think some of them are not even, they haven't even finished. They're probably just LCCI equivalent, which is a basic
right.
certificate in accounting. So when it comes to certain technicality, like we have, some client who collect deposit
Mm,
on training. How do you actually treat this deposit? IRB
correct.
call it revenue. She didn't know. She thought it's deposit, so she didn't recognize it. So
Right.
when the tax office came and slapped them with a fine, it's like a shock in their face, because it's simply because they are not technical, and as business owner they are great as trainer. They would not even have a clue that, oh my god, deposit is treated as revenue. And these are some
Correct.
of the small thing. And the one that is more heart aching, I remember my barber, my salon. He
Yep.
spent so much money to renovate the salon.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed the tenancy agreement and everything, there was a clause that the owner can take back the tenancy at any time. And because
Oh.
of some of these things, he doesn't have a financial advisor or a girl to actually look at the numbers. So when the owner actually sold the building, he has to reinstate the building. So the money he put in
Oh
200,000 to
God.
renovate, he has to strip it down back to the original state and give it back to the owner. I think these are some of the things. Just a simple advice from a qualified a
Yep.
team would have saved them so much pain. And I think this is
Correct.
one of
Correct.
the main things. So owners are not having technical knowledge and trying to manage number when tax office come. A lot of them is like a kangaroo. You shine a spotlight, they look, huh? What am I supposed to do now? Like a lot of them are so lost.
Yep.
So and their staff don't know anything. They'll just say, boss, IRB is here. What am I supposed to do? And
It's
half of them
yeah.
don't have a clue.
SOS.
Yeah.
SOS.
So I think it's important for SME owners to be free. They need to have a team of qualified service. I think part of the reason, the challenge that a lot of SME they cannot become large is because the lack of this supportive team behind
Exactly.
their back to
Exactly.
accelerate their
Don't get me
growth.
wrong. Their business model is great. Okay, look, their business model is excellent. It's just how they keep
Yeah,
record of things and how they sorry, I think that's a bad way to put it. It's how they view accounting.
yeah.
How are they accountable to their business in this manner? Yeah. So they
Yeah,
like that.
and
Just that.
knowing the numbers and how where to get them. And I think that's
Yes.
that's one of the challenges. And of
Yes.
course, this lead to challenge number two, lor.
Yeah. So, and then if imagine if the staff can tell that the boss, oh my god, the boss don't know what he's doing. IRB is knocking on the door. Always got penalty. Always the boss asks me to hide some numbers. I should but some business owners do this. You have to hide some numbers, play around with the
Yeah,
taxation or whatever,
yeah.
and then of course staff will leave. The staff will feel scared. And they will leave, and then the boss will find trouble trying to get new people to come in. Right?
Yeah. And in terms of all this tax planning, it needs to be done within the preambit of the law. I mean, certain things they really don't know. Like even a simple thing like between buying a car, which is less than 150,000, you qualified for a higher amount of deduction or full deduction, versus
Yep.
buying a luxury car and you can only claim 50,000 in terms of capital
Yep.
allowance. These are small things that sometimes the staff are just not able to give that kind of advisory,
Correct.
and whether
Correct.
certain expenses are deductible. Because I
Yep.
think a lot of SME, it's not that they want to stinge, it's the nature of the business. They can't afford to have a team of professional. And
Yep.
I think that's where we close the gap. And to make matter worse, we have a lot of clients, usually they call us, yeah, Alex, my staff pregnant, now need to go material. I cannot find part-time. And they cannot afford to have a team. Most
Yep.
SME maybe have one, if they're lucky, they have two. Most of them have one girl. So if the girl cannot COVID and out for a week, and that week is payroll week, habis lor. People
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
get paid, supplier knock on the door, operation get jammed, and I think this
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
staff turnover and as well as retention is is very, very challenging and very, very real.
Correct. I think getting the right candidate also to come in to advise. See, the bosses assume that the staff that's coming in is going to advise them, but the staff that is coming in assume that the boss is going to advise them. Am I right, Alex? So you have these things coming in. So if you have these two, these two problems at hand, you will automatically look out the door. You won't like, oh, yeah, you know what? I cannot depend on the new staff. I'm gambling again. I'm gambling the next penalty I'm going to get on the new staff. So imagine I'm the boss. I hire a staff. I'm going to hire a staff. I ask him first, are you good with penalty, tax and penalty? The person will be afraid. Red
Yeah,
flags. So
and to
yeah,
make it worse, I think sometimes SME business owner, they won't know how to, like if they are good at cooking, they will be able to assess a chef or a worker in terms of their ability to cook. When it comes to
correct,
account, because they don't have this competency, they just need to listen to that girl, and to make
correct.
sometimes to make it worse, they have a lower budget. Like even for us, average now for we call a good exec, the market rate is between 3.5 to 4.5.
Mm,
And a lot of time, SMEs still live maybe 10 years ago. They think that,
mm,
okay,
yep.
2002, I can get someone already, which they can.
Mm-hmm.
Probably is certificate level and with 1 year experience. So
Yep.
versus someone who has 5 year experience with a diploma, that kind of thing. So there's another huge gap there. And when they come in, if they are very familiar with certain software, they ask you to buy that software.
Oh,
And then they don't know whether this
double
software is
trouble.
actually relevant or not, because they only know that
Competent enough or
software.
not?
Yeah, they only
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that software. Then they get the boss to invest in the software. There are many kinds. I
Yep.
changed three staff. I have to buy three different accounting software.
Oh man.
And we have one client that we onboard. They actually upgraded to a very advanced software. Only that guy knows. So when that guy resigned, the entire system went with him.
It's up in the air, man.
Yeah.
Right
So
there.
so
They don't know what they're
so
doing.
these are some of the issues that really, I think for SME is a very big pain. No? There's like,
It
Alex,
is.
I have this software, I have this software there. I don't know what to, and then to make matter worse, they don't have backup. So during the
Oh.
festive season, long weekend, there was a break in. Uh, you
Mm-hmm.
know, then they stole the entire PC. Then it's like, oh my god, my entire
Yeah.
data went with it. And
Yeah.
and
So I,
these
I
are
think
some of the pain. Yeah.
that is exactly like how our third problem is, right? Our
Yeah.
third problem is also it's a manual system. It's non-cloud, zero backup, zero disaster recovery plan, nothing, nada.
Yeah.
That, and according to they don't understand the accounting workflow. So accounting, there is like a bible to do accounting. There's a
Yeah.
bible, there's a set of rules that you must adhere to ensure accuracy and efficiency, right? So because you do not have a system, so the most SME owners, I think a good 60% to 70% are still using Excel sheet. Maybe no, maybe some don't even use Excel sheet. They use pen, and they use the old style book and paper, pen and paper.
I hope
Kind of
not.
thing.
I
I hope
remember
not,
when
but
I
yeah,
first
yeah.
came to commercial GL,
I,
they call it general like this. Like, oh my god.
yeah. I mean, I was a
Yeah.
banker before, so I know some of these people. They use book, man. Like, hey, they use Excel
Yeah.
sheet. One
I think
one
SME
people
now,
run.
most of them use Excel sheet. Now, again, the challenge is the way I program an Excel sheet will be very different from the way you program an Excel sheet. If
Exactly.
I am there, I will know where I link my sheet and how it leads to the final outcome. The
Yeah.
struggle is when I'm not around or when I leave,
Who
it's
operates
very
that, man?
hard to transfer this knowledge to another person,
Correct.
because it's very people dependent rather than system dependent. Yeah.
Let's not also forget if you don't have a cloud system, you cannot access the system, you cannot check, you have to go to office. So if you
Correct.
have no
Correct.
access, MCO, bye, you can't
Yeah.
access. So that's
So
that too.
InTune, we were very lucky. We already moving to the cloud way before the pandemic. I think while we didn't foresee the pandemic, we foresee that going for that time, we foresee that going forward, people will work at multiple locations. Salespeople are able to issue estimate and quotation on the go using their handphone. And if they want collection, they can extract a statement on the go, and
Yep.
also be able to do things on the cloud lah, whether they are at home or they are overseas, as long as they have internet, whether it's phone, tablet, or a desktop or laptop, they are able to work on this lah.
Yep.
And I think that's where we were lucky during pandemic. 100% of our clients are able to function at the back end without any problem, despite the lockdown.
Yep. So I think the next problem, a lot of people also face this, but we rarely talk about this enough. So I think imagine you're an SME owner, you're an SME business owner, right? You have a great business model, you have everything great, but just maybe you started for 2 years, but going to the third year, you want to expand. Okay, you want to expand, but the only way you can expand is, of course, by maybe taking a business loan or applying for some certain grants. That requires you to have a great credit check score, but they don't have because the validation on it is not just bad, it's terrible. So two together is what? Terry bad.
Yeah.
Terry bad, and then yeah, a lot of disappointments there will follow on. So that's that also.
Yeah.
I think Alex also touched on the fifth one, which is earlier he touched on the fifth point is no financial dashboards. So I think Alex, yourself as a business owner, if you were to go on a holiday today, okay, you're going to go on a holiday today, you have to leave your business behind. I think it will give you a proper ease of mind to know that your business is still running at the back of your mind. Of course, without dialing back to your accountant, chasing your accountant. Hi, I want to see the P&L today. I want to see, the cost of sales and whatnot. But you can see all that at the touch of your mobile devices. So you want a proper financial life. I didn't say proper only, proper life financial dashboard. So you need that, and that is again is very critical and crucial, in 2022 and going forward, right? And other than these five different things, we have one more bonus one, which again goes hand in hand with what we have mentioned in the 5 different points earlier, which is compliance. Again, compliance is not in everybody's blood. Thank God it is in our blood, in our DNA, and we understand that SME business owners want to go as fast as possible, expand as fast as possible, but they're just not compliant. They don't understand the importance of compliance.
Yeah, and I think it's not that they don't want, Joseph. I think a lot of time
Yeah.
it's not at the forefront. It's always at the
Yeah.
back of their mind.
Correct.
And a lot of time, by the time they look into it, it's always too late. And when it's
Correct.
too late, a simple fine, even a non-compliant in filing, will be like a few thousand per director, plus the company is also slapped a fine. And I think this is what sometimes I always tell some of my clients, why you pay the penalty? That amount you pay me more than enough to cover your bookkeeping. Some more I can belanja you minimum TO leh.
Yeah, so there's a thing I always tell my clients, like it is better to avoid than to eat medicine after. Okay, trust
Yeah,
me.
prevention is always better than cure.
Yeah, prevention is better than cure. Like if now I know I'm gonna swim there in a lake, there's a lot of crocodiles, I rather not swim. Okay, I'm just gonna walk. I'm not gonna come my one leg.
Yeah, and sometimes I remember a very good friend of mine who initially couldn't afford us, which is fine. And then by the time they came to us and asked us to help, the tax already slapped them with a fine, and he's willing to pay 50,000 to us just to clean up the books for the last 7 years. But when we look at the way it's being managed, it is impossible to clean up the book. So he ended up paying that 100,000 fine.
So the
Because
desperation.
there's no way for him to justify.
Correct. The desperation and still willing to cover up 50,000 says it all. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So he says it all at 50,000, but still cannot. Just like cancer.
Yeah, and I think it's a major heartache law and major headache law, because they cannot continue their operation because the IRB is breathing on their neck, and some get custom office on their neck. So then the business owner, they cannot focus on what is really important, because they have all these challenges, compliance at the back. It actually affect their entire operation, and as a result, some of them actually have to close down their business. Some of them have late delivery issues with their customer because they are too busy trying to do catch up. And to catch up 7 years of work is a nightmare. It's really a nightmare.
Totally is. I cannot even imagine if I have accounting issues. No. Thank God I'm still young. I do not own a business yet. But at least I'm aware. At least I'm aware now.
Even I I mean, IRB just sent me a letter lately claiming that I didn't pay them my tax when I did my filing. I mean, thank God I have all the record. While I pay them, they didn't manage to link my payment to their statement. So they actually slapped the company a compulsory order to pay the so-called unpaid amount lah. So when I send them a letter, I mean, today I just opened the envelope. I just got, okay, we are sorry, this thing has been resolved. Please ignore our notice for extra payment. I think
Yep.
when compliance are in place, all this would not be a major headache. Is when compliance not in place, then this one will be like scrambling. Oh, where did I did that? Where did I keep that receipt? That
Yeah.
time I paid that. Where did I keep it? I think these are some of the things that we put in place inside our workflow, so that when all these things come, you have a firewall that works.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we can firewall everything. But at least we know how to respond in a way that works lah.
Correct. It's like taking a jab, a flu jab when you're young, so you don't get flu. It's just like that, guys. Come on, it's like,
Yeah, yeah,
hey, take your flu jab, take your
yeah,
BCG jab, all that. So prepare, preparedness is always better than cure, right?
yeah.
So I think we're gonna move on to our next session, our next part, where we were gonna talk about certain real life case studies that some of our clients face, and the things that we do to help them get out of things. Okay. So number one, we have a client of ours, right? The company is company R. They are in an online fashion boutique company, right? So Puan A is the business owner. So I think Puan A is a smart person. She is always forward thinking. But I think, being in a fashion boutique industry, it's always very fast paced. She got so many things to think about, right? Accounting was the last thing she was probably thinking on her head, right? So she had a staff. The staff, she had an internal account staff, right? A junior one, in fact. Okay, that was part of a team, and little did she know, this person, okay, very sad to hear this, but this person deployed a tactic to embezzle money out of a business. Okay, so she used she used this tactic to take control of some things, brainwash the boss, I don't say mind games, but I say number games, and then created fixed supply invoices under various company names and paid to those companies from One A's business. And she
Yeah,
only found out after the staff left. I think,
yeah.
Alex, you can share further on this.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
and
that.
I think sometimes all this, this client is also very close to our heart, and she works so hard, and I, I think because of the nature of it being so fast moving, and they have so many supply, and they do online sales, right?
Yeah,
So the in and
exactly.
out is so high volume, and like I say, a typical SME, they try to get one staff to do everything. So the staff is also in charge
Yeah.
of the procurement, the
Mm.
payment, the packing, and the invoicing. So I think that's where the red flag is lah. So when she came and tell us that she'll do this volume, the margin is like that. Then I said, how come you're not making
Cannot
money?
be, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Look
that
at
was the red flag. So when we dig and we dig, and then we realize that this
who
certain
is this company?
expenditure, why is it so high? And then
Yeah.
when we dig deeper, then only she start to realize, I don't even know this supplier, but all the
Uh,
payment. And I think to make matter worse, I think in the past a lot of the girls are required, or the boys who do account, they will prepare the check, they will put the invoice at the back, and the not so bad. Nowadays all upload. So the boss
yeah.
press the dongle and pay at home, right? They don't even see the invoice anymore, and it's
Yeah.
so
So that's bad.
voluminous, right? And I mean, this is not the banking fault. I think the nature of us evolve. So sometimes they do bulk transactions. So the director,
Mm.
let's say, got 100 transactions to approve, they would not be able to see one by one,
Yeah,
and they
line by
don't
line.
have the supporting. So they will just click, 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 approve, gone.
Like an email check all,
Correct,
not
correct.
as
And
red.
and and, and I think sometimes we can call it mind game. I mean, these are really a breakdown in internal control, which I mean, during my years, even I work with corporate, there are many, many cases of embezzlement, even though
Yeah.
they have a full team with segmented internal control. So
Yep.
when a SME have very little internal control and everything is done by 1 or 2%, I think this is where the danger is. I remember another client of ours, which runs a clinic. Very normal, right? Clinic. But the doctor cannot remember how many patients he see a day. What?
Yeah.
And then each patient maybe 50 ringgit, and a lot of time they pay cash. They don't even use credit card. They don't even issue receipt.
Exactly.
So
I remember
imagine
last time.
imagine the staff in front every day just take 50 ringgit. Just take 50 ringgit a day. He won't
Wow.
know. He won't know. And for 5 years, that person has been doing that. Can you
Yeah.
imagine how much money is being taken?
Yeah. Just like the old banking story, the 10-cent thief.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think
No
this is
proper
where,
accounting.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not designed to scare SME. It's actually, for me, it's always a constant reminder of SME as you got to be careful of money. Money, while it's not the root of all evil, when we don't have internal control, it actually incentivize people to
Mm.
to
To safeguard themselves better.
to do all this stuff lah.
Yeah.
I mean, I always tell people in India we put in all this workflow, yet it happened. How
Correct.
can a SME that doesn't put in all this workflow and internal control can say that, oh, we are kampate one?
Mm.
I think that's
Yeah.
the danger. That's the reminder I always want to
Danger.
put out there. SME, if you're listening to this, I'm not here to put fear into your business. I want you to be mentally aware of some of the risks that you're doing in the name
Yep.
of convenience or in the name of trust. And
Yep.
a lot of this embezzlement happen to people that we trust.
Mm.
And when they are in desperate situation, they may not start with 1,000, they may start with 100, then they move to 1,000, 10,000, and 100,000. So
Yeah.
it happens
Snowballing.
over a period of time, and I think
Yep.
that's where this case study is so important, and it's very heartbreaking lah. Hard-earned money, and then the staff just embezzle like that lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what we did is we went in, we rectify certain workflows. Of course, the staff is no longer the staff. We try to claw back the money. You see, cure is always harder than prevention. Okay, so it was a lot harder to get back that money. And yeah, so the story goes, we hope one is doing fine today. And then we have a second case study. Okay, of course, not as tragic as the first one, but again, just by not being careful and not being compliant, again, it's not because not the business or don't want to be compliant, just that they don't the understanding level, the competency is not there enough, which resulted in penalty and late filings. Okay, and
Yeah.
that alone give the client a lot of headache. So number one, we have this company, they are doing retail as well. Again, retail business. Retail business always take the biggest hit, especially outside, because there were so many things going on, too fast paced. And then Miss this lady boss, right? She had inaccurate or incomplete accounts, resulting in a lot of accounts cannot be audited after 3 years. So she try and try after 3 years with different auditors. Cannot. It doesn't work like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we went in. I think Alex went in. I wasn't around him. Alex went in, took over the functions, deliver the account from time on time, and tell her this was back in 2015, right, Alex? So
Yeah.
that you guys were like adhere to this, and then from there on, only expanded onto other things to help out. So I think the trust level from Miss W, right, understand that, okay, you know what, I've messed up for 4 years. I cannot keep doing this. My business has to grow. I've got guys I got to pay. I got food that I bring back home. I cannot keep paying these penalties, and these penalties are not cheap. Alex, what are the penalty rates like?
I mean, it depends. Number one, in the event the IRB don't get a file account, they will roughly estimate based on the cash collection. And it doesn't matter if the cash collection is actually a sales collection or not. They will usually slap a fine. So
Oh
even
yeah.
if the business owner got an
Okay.
advance of maybe they got a big project. See, in that case, this client got a big project. They will advance maybe 500,000 in, but then the project didn't kick off. They need to refund back. So IRB doesn't know all this. In the absence of document, they assume that this is your revenue. So they are also being taxed on all the deposit that they receive, which didn't convert into sales.
So
Of course, sometimes when they do certain project, short of funds, right? It's very usual for SME to pump their personal money. Like if they want to do a 3-4 million project, they need a deposit to put for the retail product, right? So they will
They need
buy
some
first
capital.
and then keep it. So
Yep.
because they pump in money, they don't have a proper system to record. IRB
Yep.
will again this as revenue. So when you add all this together, I in Chinese we call yin wong qin. They cannot tax on their own money and on money that they don't earn. I think if they earn it, it's not so painful.
And the worst part is
So
they have no way to prove it.
correct. And on
Oh yeah.
top of the penalty, there is a late payment penalty. So they are being
Yeah.
slapped too. And in terms of tax, once they slap you with the fine, you pay first, stop later. So
Correct.
already they are out of pocket. When they get the fine, they need to vomit another sum just to pay IRB. And if they cannot prove it, that's it. IRB will suck all the money.
How tragic is that? I mean, like, hey, that's my money, but then I
Yeah,
never record properly. That's my money, and then the IRB will think, hey, that's not your money. That's the money you. I mean, sorry, that's your money, but that's the money you earn. So you never file tax. Bye. Now I gotta put me
and
more money
and,
on top of this money.
and a lot of business owners think that just because they can explain like that, IRB will be compassionate.
No.
And unfortunately, IRB they look at the the facts are. And in
Yeah.
the absence of that facts, I mean, it took us so long just to do all this, to turn the case around, but it took very long, and the cash flow was the client have to put a lot of their extra money and then only get back a refund, which did happen. But I
Yeah.
think that period of them doing that and for us to catch up, right, was a
Correct.
nightmare. Yeah, especially because accounts we always call shoebox, right? I think one shoebox is easy to tackle. When you have one container of shoebox,
Yeah.
it can be
Exactly.
it's actually a nightmare. I wouldn't even say it
Yeah.
can be a nightmare. So even for
Correct.
our team to catch up
Yeah.
with the backlog, right, it's endless sleepless night with the pressure of IRB, with the pressure of the client asking, hey, quickly, I need to get back my refund. And at the same time, they cannot function their business because the cash flow was trapped. And I think this is
There's no
where,
drive anymore. There's
yeah,
no
I
drive.
think this is when it kena, it's like cancer stage 4 like that, lor. And it require a whole team just to rescue this business. It's no fun. It is definitely not a good experience.
Correct.
I would not want. So a lot of our clients or SME, they always think that it will not happen to them. I think that was one of the things they have in mind. And when it
Mm.
happened, it really caught them by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
by that time, usually coming to us, it's too late lah. It's like cancer stage 4 lah.
yeah. So which is why I said I think people with bad CTOS or CQ score, bad credit check scores, they're like cancer patients. It's not they wanted cancer. Nobody wants cancer, but they got it now and they're desperate. They pay whatever sum of money to fix their thing, but it just doesn't go away like that. Okay, it's there
Yeah.
to stay. It's a
So
scar.
I think it's with that in mind that we came up with certain packages as a prevention, like to help our SME. So maybe Joseph, you could share with them, what is the main difference between our bookkeeping, finance outsourcing, and accounting outsourcing package in general.
Okay. So I think this one I have to go a little bit back because I think if you guys watched the video before we started, Alex was talking about how he left, the big four, the big auditing grounds, just to help the SMEs. So I too share this same goal. We want to go out there and help certain SMEs who cannot or who are unable to at this juncture to afford certain accounting services. Okay, so I think number one, we have segregated this to 3 different packages that our clients can then choose from. We have small, medium, and large. But in our dictionary, it's bookkeeping, okay, finance outsourcing, and last but not least, we have accountant outsourcing. I know fancy names, but yes, bookkeeping is the most basic one, whereby we step in for you as a partner to help you jot down and record things, bookkeep certain things, okay, journal, so that you can focus on your business. The only the only part that you need to do from here is to make your own payments, create your own invoices, the day-to-day business things. But we do the bookkeeping for you. We jot down, as long as you buy something, we jot down for you. You pay something, also we jot down for you. That's all we do. Okay, so that's bookkeeping, the smallest package that we have. And then we have finance outsourcing, which is where we sit down. It's like we are like We're like a business process for you. We sit down in your office as accountant, and we help you handle these things that a normal account executive will do. But we do not just give you an accounting executive. We give you a team that we will work closely with you. So this is the value, and this is why it is our number one seller here at InTune. That's why most of our clients come back and introduce more people to us because they see the importance of finance outsourcing. Okay, so last but not least, we have AO. AO is accountant outsourcing. Sounds a bit like finance outsourcing. The only difference here is we have a certified financial advisor. FO also has, but AO you get more hours. We'll sit down longer hours with you, okay, and we will go through your business. We'll tell you, hi, you are doing this well this month. You are doing this well that month. You could do better in the next coming months if you tweak certain things like this. So I think Alex, tell me how you and maybe some of our certified accountants that is working with us would deep dive into certain things and how we help our clients.
I think in terms of accounting outsourcing, what we usually do is we will have a monthly meeting with our clients. So there's
Yep.
very high contact time, and a lot of the real important data is being captured very, very quickly. Things
Yep.
like GP, things like their turnover, whether inventory turnover or debtors turnover, those are being monitored like a hawk, and it's
Correct.
crucial for certain business, especially business who wants to cash out, they want to sell or get injected into listed entity or being sold. So these are the
Yep.
criteria where they need constant reporting. So that's when an accountant need to be in place. They need a CFO to advise them in terms of certain things, especially if they go for
Very
listing,
true.
they need the advisory in terms of estimating the forecast, ensuring that they meet the forecast, the GP margin, and all those things. So
Yeah.
that's where AO becomes a high contact time compared to
Yep.
FO. So, I mean, in essence, I always tell our client we are like a HQ accountant and they are like our subsidiary. We don't go inside their company and do the accounts. Everything is done in HQ. And then the difference is also the time to deliver. Lah. Of course, bookkeeping is already past tense. We are just recording the past tense.
Yep.
FO, we are doing the day-to-day payment,
Correct.
reconciliation, and all
Yep.
those things. And of course, AO is you're having an accountant instead of just an exec that looks after you. I think that's the main thing.
Certified accountant.
Certified, yes.
Not an accountant that has worked for 40, 50 years and say, hey, I'm an accountant. No. We have
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean,
certified
coming
MI
back to
accountant.
that, sometimes our clients say, wow, Alex, why you charge so expensive? I can get an accountant to come in and they charge only me 500 ringgit. I said, really? Really? And then I said, okay, then you better engage him because I think you also need to recommend him to me. I want to engage him or her. So
Yeah.
when the shit hit the fans, I mean, this so-called accountant don't know go where. And an accountant needs to be registered with MIA, right? And a lot of them are not
Yeah.
registered. They are almost like sometimes like a pasar malam people calling themselves a doctor.
Yeah.
And of course at pasar they cannot charge that kind of rate. So also I tell the client that we have a whole team in the office. If one person go on maternity leave, one person get COVID, we always have
Correct.
someone to take care, and there's always processes. All the payment is being reviewed by at least 2 layers, so it cut down a lot of the risk that we shared about in case study.
Yeah.
We have the finance manager that constantly look into compliance, ensuring the auditors. Even like for us, we train our auditors to be able to audit the accounts online. So even during COVID, we work closely with our auditor to ensure the compliance work are still on
Yep.
track. I think that's how advanced we are in terms of providing outsourcing service.
Correct. Also, the other thing I want to mention is other than these three packages, some of our clients, they have extremely complex accounts, okay? The way they do their accounts. So we step in and we understand them and then we work closely with them and we tailor make a package for them. So that works too. So so some of you who may be watching this, if you have extremely complex accounts and you have nowhere to go, please come and find us. We will sit down with you, understand your business, and then maybe perhaps we can tailor make something for you as well.
Correct. And you can start with have a chat with Joseph, and we can do a health check. Like any doctors, before we prescribe anything, the first thing we need to do is to check our valuable client. We understand them. And I think this is where if you do see, so we have this promotion where we do the health check. Usually it's 500 ringgit.
Yep.
If you do have our promo code HFHC for finance and #PAC for payroll. We do it at, Joseph will sit down with you and do a pre-assessment at no charge
Yep.
obligation.
Totally free.
Yeah.
We can be friends at the meantime. Just want to help you understand how are you doing today in terms
Yeah.
of finance.
Okay, and it's so quick, and we have come to the end of the time for freedom number 2. So yeah, I think this is in summary, InTune, we started as a finance space. Of course, now we are having a full suite of service in HR too. So if you have any requirement for either finance or HR services, please come to Joseph. Please, you can always get him either at our hotline, or you can get him at his contact number. So with that, we're gonna end part 2. Okay,
Yep.
just any closing statement before I end with a video?
Stay compliant.
Yeah,
Stay ready,
stay
stay compliant.
free, stay happy, focus on your business, focus on your passion, leave all the paperwork to InTune, and that's what we stand for.
Leave us the
Thank
boring
you,
work,
Sabrina.
guys.
I see you again on series number 3. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
InTune Outsourcing is providing you a full scope of accounting from A to Z, exactly like an accounting department with a CFO, but not based in your office. InTune enters supplier invoices into accounts payable and do reconciliation with suppliers to make sure that our records are correct. InTune also processes payments to suppliers, staff, and expenses, updating sales invoices into accounts receivable, including collection received, providing statement of accounts to clients so that they can collect and chase money from their customers, providing the financial reports, including but not limited to profit and loss, balance sheets, cash flow, debtors and creditors aging, advisory and financial coaching, including presentation of accounts, highlighting key areas and key analytics to improve and grow clients' businesses. At the year end, we represent our clients to work with their auditors and tax agents for compliance matters. InTune also represent our clients to deal with different bodies and agencies such as Income Tax Office, Customs Department, EPF, SOCSO, and other authorities for matters relating to finance, business, and HR. So if you're still facing accounting problems, you'll need a professional like InTune to help you. Well, get InTune to fine-tune your decisions.